What looks easy, but is actually difficult. Maintaining friendships from high school/college after you graduate. People get so busy with work and starting their own families that friendships get put on the back burner. You stop talking to someone for a few months, then it suddenly hits you that you're no longer friends with the person. Your good friends will understand that life happens. Text them on birthdays. See them once or twice a year. People with kids gravitate to other people with kids, and us childless adults generally stick with each other. People grow up and move on, but your true friends will still reach out because they miss you. Actually doing things. In theory it's simple. Just do the thing. In reality I procrastinate until I hate myself. Self-discipline is the single hardest skill to master in this world that makes it so easy to just not. Beekeeping. You see videos of these old dudes in their veils and beekeeping suits and it makes it seem so relaxing and easy. Turns out that bees aren't so good at finding enough food on their own and they can get sick really easy and in the winter they can mold. Have you ever seen moldy bees? Sometimes they're not even dead. It's still worth it though. Finding the person I always saw myself falling in love with. I use a wheelchair and people usually don't believe me when I say that getting around can be difficult, because many of them think that pushing a wheelchair is easy. They literally tell me this. The thing is, when you use a wheelchair all day and it is basically your only means of transportation, it looks more natural. This becomes a problem when I point out accessibility problems. They often don't believe me because they see how I can navigate and assume that it's easy, just because I make it look easy. My dad was in a wheelchair most my life and he made it look super easy most the time. Buff arms, and didn't like to get pushed anywhere. But I also remember places with small ledges that were hard for him, and an apartment I once lived in where he could never come inside because it was a full flight of stairs up with no elevator. Getting around for him obviously took a lot of work. To this day I'm still pissed to see someone without a plate or placard parking in the handicap spot. Flying remote-controlled helicopters. It looks so effortless when watching seasoned flyers, but in reality it's like balancing a marble on an upturned bowl. I'll never forget the time I went out and bought a decently priced helicopter. 5 minutes into setting it up, I didn't even get it 3 feet off the floor before I smashed it into a chair, destroying the rotor blades. I tried maybe like 5 to 6 more times before I gave up, and now it hangs in my garage as a monument to my failure. Edit, I was outside. Folding fitted sheets. I've watched instructional videos that make it look so easy, but I always just end up with a crumpled up mess, and that's how it gets put away. The real trick is to only own one sheet, so as soon as it comes out of the wash you immediately put it back on the bed and never need to even attempt folding it. I have a modified version of this, where I change the sheets, let the dirty ones sit on my floor for a week, where my dog will sleep, then wash them. Repeat. Finding a career you'll want to go to every day that won't crush your soul. Remember when you were young and teachers told you that you could be whatever you wanted to be? Yeah, not so realistic when you want to pay bills and maybe have a little beer money too. I didn't go to college and struggle with the thought of not being able to have a lateral career move without a degree, but then I see my friends absolutely floundering with their student loan payments and think maybe I don't have it so bad after all. All the feels for this. I only wish I hadn't bought into the college is the only way to go mentality. By 21 my life goal was to not be miserable, and everyone assumed I was depressed as all hell, but this is what I meant, is finding some sort of career where I didn't want to blow my head off just having to show up to work every day. One of the things I sincerely wish I had discovered earlier was that college doesn't guarantee that path. Took me 4 tries for a proper degree and another try at a tech school to discover that what makes me happy is farming. Like, Literally I was gifted a dozen chickens and was like this. The simple life. Digging in the dirt and raising animals, and it's hard, and so far I still struggle with the beer money, but I'm happy and I love my damn birds so much. Just wish I would have found this before I took out $10,000 in student loans, which I know is a small amount by comparison but still hangs over my head. Losing weight. Changing habits is hard. People tend to mistake simple things for being easy. Well said. And very true with weight loss. It's simple, but dang it ain't easy. Being in your 20s. As a clueless kid I thought by now I'd have everything figured out and my life on track. I'm still clueless, but now I also have depression. The one thing I've figured out from growing up is that most people have no idea what it is going on and they're just kind of winging it. Drawing something from memory. Like a bird or something. In mind, yep, that's a bird. On paper, that's a bird. Getting away with murder. Actually, if you go to a large city and kill someone you have no connection to, the odds are you will get away scot-free. For example, the homicide arrest rate in Baltimore and Chicago are about 20%, meaning you have an 80% chance of not getting arrested. Maybe lots of people have got away with murder, and it's quite commonplace. We just don't know about it. Being an adult. They never had to do homework, could stay up late, eat what they wanted and had the money. I wish I was a naive kid again. Makes me wonder if parents should be a little more honest about their life. But I guess kids will either see it as one-upping or get stressed, so I dunno. Making lemonade. Sure, squeezing one lemon is easy peasy, but do you know how much juice that makes? Not a lot. Fill in the rest with sugar, it's the American way. Golf. I feel like most people think they can just grip it and rip it and don't take into account how hard it is to have a consistently good swing with solid contact. Golf is such a polarizing sport. I've played a few rounds, and done terribly, but I have landed a par and birdie, and damn is it one of the most exhilarating feelings ever. Writing a 250-word open-ended reflection where you're expected to be creative. All I want as a grad student is some goddamn structure and also a rubric. As you progress through the levels of degrees, it is supposed to become more abstract. High school, you're basically just reciting the book. Highly structured, just follow directions. Bachelor's degree, reciting parts of the book and generating some original thoughts within a guideline. Master's degree, capable of independent thought, only referencing knowledge from the book, and applying that knowledge in unstructured ways. PhD, you wrote the book. Those capture things on Google. I can honestly never read them and the website always thinks I'm a robot. Maybe you are a robot. Easy as pie. Pie is the most difficult thing I've ever done/made. Hell yeah. Keeping the dough cold while avoiding overworking it, and somehow perfectly distributing the butter throughout the mixture so that there aren't massive butter chunks. Ugh, it's difficult. Playing an instrument. Have played most percussion instruments, trumpet, some baritone, and was first chair tuba/sousaphone for 4 years, and difficulty varies based on instrument and physical attributes. I was going to say the same thing. I played drums, on a long-term hiatus, not sure I'll go back to playing, and people either seem to think that playing the drums is borderline impossible or that it's the same thing as clapping your hands and tapping your feet. Well, it's honestly not that difficult to play really simple stuff, although it is difficult to play really simple stuff well. But even people who are halfway decent on the instrument will tell you it is incredibly difficult to get good, much less great. Selling panties online. I've seen a couple posts about how someone could exploit desperate dudes on Craigslist by buying women's panties, spritzing them with perfume, and then selling them online. Were it so easy? Nowadays, buyers want to see photos of a real woman in the exact pair they'll be buying, or proof in the form of being Panty Trust certified. They'll want extras or special requests for their order, plenty of fetishes to go around, and the vast majority of them will drop off the face of the earth when it comes time to actually pay. You'll have to sift through hundreds of responses to your ad, knowing most of them will be time wasters just trying to get a little dirty talk or some photos. My advice? Don't bother. Leave it to the cam girls who make some side cash off selling their panties, because there's always going to be someone willing to go a step further than you, and they will be the one to make the sale. Programming. It's like Lego sets. Anyone can follow the instructions and make the Millennium Falcon. But it's a whole different ballgame when you're given a pile of assorted blocks and someone says okay, now recreate the Taj Mahal. But the client wants it to look like Big Ben. It also needs to be able to interlock with the Sphinx, the Great Wall, the Eiffel Tower, and the Moyang Temple to create a super monument. Yes, I know the Moyang Temple hasn't been designed yet, just make some good guesses. We can add parts to it once we know what we need. Making an actual quality meme. Inside jokes are normally easy, and memes for content-specific subs is really easy, but making original content for a wider audience, /r/memes for example, then it feels almost impossible to make content that will be widely liked. The key is to find something that is never brought up, but a lot of people can relate to. Like when someone made a meme about raindrop races on a car window, that blew my mind. Natural makeup. More work than regular makeup. Don't trust beauty YouTubers to tell you the truth. Under that lighting the makeup looks flawless, that's why they go through that much work for it. But for a normal everyday look, natural makeup shouldn't take too long.